the night before she passed, Shell had been down with her. I'd been catching up on some sleep, and Shell came back up, and there's a baby monitor. So we've got our own room because Shell's a patient at the time, and you can see on the TV when the monitor's on her, so you can sort of just watch her and stuff. And we were up there, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and Shell called up downstairs because she's like, the monitor's off, like, what's going on? They're like, you better come down.
Alrighty. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Planting Seeds with Soul podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest on. Legend of a man, actually. You'll get to know what I'm talking about there as the podcast goes on and you experience him for yourself. Guys, this is my mate Dylan, who lives down the road from us, actually. Dylan and his beautiful wife, Rochelle, have faced incredible, heavy, hectic, full-on, gut-wrenching challenges, including the big loss of their daughter, their little girl, Milli. They've also been through the ups and downs, the highs and lows, the ins and outs, the washing machine of trying to conceive. Is that right, Dill?
Yeah. Been a long journey.
So, yeah, we're lucky enough, guys. I feel so blessed, brother. I feel honoured to have you on this show. Like, you've got an incredible story, and I'm excited for you to share your guys' journey and your story with us.
Yeah, sweet,
So,
yeah.
Thanks for coming on, brother. I really appreciate it.
No, I've been keen to get it out there.
So, I just wanted to start just by getting to know you a bit more, bro. How's life? How's the journey? What's been going on? Who are you? What do you do?
Oh, yeah. So, Dylan, we met, probably 2 years ago now?
Yeah, how did that go down? It was through Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you messaged me asking about a glory hole or something?
We were supposed to keep that shit out of it, Dill.
No. I think Kel's, your partner, put up a post on Facebook on the community page asking for somebody to look after your dog for the weekend because you were heading away.
Yep.
And I saw it and I said to Shell, let's look after this dog. And Shell's like, oh, yeah, right, I sweet as. And then I think Shell reached out to Kels and, I think they just agreed on that. But Kel said that he's had like heaps of messages from heaps of different people or something.
We did, man. And like, we were obviously meant to cross paths.
Yeah.
Like, we're sitting here together now. Like, we get along real well. You're a top bloke. And, you know, like, it was just meant to happen.
Yeah.
You know, how did you go down with Halo anyway? What did you think of her?
Yeah, no, she was good. She was only a little puppy at the time, quarter of the size that she's now. And, our dogs are pretty chaos. So we thought if we get another little puppy in here, then she might tire him out for a bit. And, they were awesome. And I think Halo slept with me every night she stayed.
Yeah, I remember you sending us videos of that, actually. You took the dogs down to the beach this morning, didn't you?
Yeah.
How many dogs have you got?
We've just got the two dogs, one cat. And the dogs are definitely very high, what's the word? Fuck.
Hyperactive, like full on ADD.
Well, Kelpie cross collie, so she's non-stop, and then a little Foxy, so they both go pretty hard.
I reckon, before we do get into this story, which is a heavy one, man. It's pretty full on. We'll just have like a sort of a general chat and whatnot, but the dogs would have played a huge part, in the journey after Milli.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Obviously, they're a big part of your journey anyway, but dogs are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah. My little Kelpie's my best mate, 100%. But, so they, through Shell's pregnancy with Milli, she wanted to get rid of them both. She, could not stand them. The hormones are going and the dogs were crazy and barking and stuff. And after we lost Milli, you could even see change in the dogs. Like Zayla, the Kelpie, who's full on, would just come up after it and just rest on Shell's belly and like just hang out with her, whereas she used to be jumping all over and going hypo and psycho and everything else. So you can they know what's going on for sure.
Oh, for sure, brother. Like, just because we can't communicate with them, in the way that we do, with words vibrating out of our mouth, the English words, doesn't mean that they don't know what's going on. Like, just a perfect example, I've got my mum's sausage dog here, guys, at the moment, and last night I was given Gidget is her name. Gidget the sausage dog.
She's on her Digit.
No, did you? She's on her way out. She's got all sorts of shit going on. Her back legs don't really work that much anymore. She can't see, she can't hear. She's got a bit going on, but she's still kicking. But what I was about to say, I was giving Gidget attention, and Halo was just getting so jealous, man. And like, that's a trait that we carry too,
Oh, 100%. If any other dog comes near me when Zayla's around, like, fuck, she just comes straight over. And if it's in our home, sometimes she'll even get like arky and stuff. Very, very protective, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Do the dogs go to work with you?
Nah, Zayla occasionally will come out quoting with me and stuff, but when she was young, she used to all the time, and then out of nowhere, she jumped across me when we were up Mount Tambourine one day and straight onto the road and got cleaned up by a car at 60 k's, eh? And
fucking hell.
And the car sort of pulled over, and there was 4 tradies that come running out, and then the car just fucking took off, eh? Must have like seen like myself and 4 other tradies like looking after the dog, and they're like, fuck that, and they've just taken it.
They've done a runner.
Can you say fuck with me?
Yeah, it's all good for sure. I've set it up so it's not suitable for kids. I've got to gone through the right processes. Kids should be able to watch this podcast, but the rules and stuff that come with Spotify and the social media platforms, you've really got to be careful with what you say, which is kind of disappointing, because at the end of the day, swear words, they call them swear words. It's just letters jumbled up into a word at the end of the day, and any word can heal you or destroy you.
Yeah.
It's how you deliver that word, deliver that message. If you're going to use it to harm someone or you're going to use it to love someone.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't see anything wrong with it, but it is good we can say it on here, but for probably try and avoid just as much as you can. But fuck it. It's all good to swear for sure.
Yeah, sweet as.
Before we do move on, brother, just give us a little bit of a rundown in a nutshell, where you've come from, what you do for bread, your bond that you share with your beautiful wife, Rochelle.
Yep.
Just a little bit of info there.
Yeah, so originally Shell and I are both brought up on the Central Coast, lived there our whole lives, come up here for a holiday on the Goldie just mid-COVID, and thought, stuff it, let's move up here, bring our businesses up here. So 19 days later, had a contract signed and moved up here. 2 months after that, moved Shell up here. I had to stay home for a bit and finish off work, and then I moved up here myself about 6 months later. So we've been up here for 2.5 years now. I wouldn't have it any other way, eh? We just love it. It still feels like I'm on holidays, eh?
Yeah, it is that type of place, isn't it? I'm surprised they let you in here, but I'm glad they did, but I'm surprised.
There's a couple of places that don't let me in.
Hey, I feel you on that one, eh?
But yeah, brought both businesses up here. Shell's got a beauty business, so she just works from home. And
what's the name of that?
It's the Cosmetic Cottage. So she does, little plug there. Yep. She does like brows, lashes, teeth whitening, fat cavitation, just making all the women look beautiful in the world,
That's it.
And my business, Evolved Metal Roofing. If you need a new roof on the Gold Coast, that's another little plug. Get in touch. Maybe might even become a sponsor of the show. Who knows? Oh,
that'd be unreal. Dill's actually he's done a bit of work here at our joint. Still got some stuff to do. Still like it's halfway through. It's that thing, finding time. Here we go, pockets of time. Kel's put me onto that word. I love that saying. I'm trying to find pockets of time to do all this sort of stuff. That's why things are half done around here. It's the pockets of time and the money for me at the moment. Yeah. But, whatever. Gidget, get out of that.
100%, eh? So, like, time's such a hard thing. I feel like I'm just racing 24/7.
Yeah, that's it. I try and slow down as much as I can, but, you know, with this stuff going down, I know, you know, being of service, brother, like doing all of this stuff with the podcast, all this stuff on social media, it's my way of being of service, and it does suck up a lot of time, whether it be, you know, the podcast, doing this part of it, and then the editing part of it, and then the content creation, and then the engagement, getting back to people and all that sort of stuff. So it gets pretty full on, eh?
I think some people see podcasts and they're like, oh yeah, they sat down and had a chat for an hour, that's it. But there's a fucking full day of editing and shit in it. And
100%. And with what I know about technology, it's fuck all.
Yeah.
So it takes me a lot longer than the normal person, but because I've been chucked in the deep end and I guess I've been forced to learn it for myself, it's you know, it's forcing me to learn things for myself, and I'm navigating it all by myself. So if there is a drama down the track, I can rectify it myself. I actually know what's going on now.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Like, that's the good thing about being chucked in the deep end. Sometimes you do it's either sink or swim, eh?
Yeah, it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You got to fall off a couple of times before you know.
That's it.
Yeah, you still got your training wheels on out here.
That's it, brother. 100%. I'll have the training wheels on for a fair while, I reckon. Is there anything else that you wanted to...
Yeah, no, so our journey, we started trying to conceive 4 years ago. Had a little miscarriage at, I think it was 6 weeks.
So before you start there, how long have you and Rochelle been
together?
Yeah.
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah. So we had a little miscarriage. I think it was January 2022, maybe. And then we had a bit of a break throughout some time there through COVID and stuff, and she knew she still loved me, so she sent me a little letter, and we ended up getting back together, and then made the move up here. Still trying to conceive, and we finally vowed that we'd start IVF. So we just weren't falling, wasn't happening for us, and we were starting IVF on the Thursday. So I was away for work down in Canberra, doing a job down there, and we'd just been to 2 weddings on the Central Coast, and I went from Central Coast to Canberra. Shell come back up here, and I was getting back on the Wednesday and then starting IVF on the Thursday. And I was down in Canberra, and I think the Tuesday night, Shell called me, and she's like, I'm pregnant. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm pregnant. I've done like 10 tests. I tested yesterday. I didn't want to call you yesterday because I didn't want to like say it and then not know. Yeah. And then so... yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is hectic. Because, we can't fall pregnant. So what was going through your head? Like, you obviously tried to fall pregnant so many times. Yeah. And that can be real disheartening. Yeah. And put those thoughts in your head that, you know, like, maybe this isn't possible, and, like, give you those given up type thoughts. Yeah. Is that what type of thoughts and feelings were you having at that point? You have so many people telling you, oh, you just got to relax, you just got to do this, everyone's a professional, right? You just got to shut the fuck up. Everyone's a professional, and you know what? Yeah. We sort of booked in the IVF, we were starting it, we had 2 weddings to go to, we had a bit of time off, we let our hair down, we had a drink, because before that we'd both been sober, we were both taking all these vitamins and different shit to try and make ourselves more fertile. But yeah, we just knew IVF was booked in, so we just let our hair down and relaxed, and yeah, that's sort of what happened. So that was Milli. So my dates aren't great, but that's okay. Neither are mine, mate. November. No, I didn't even know it was November. When was Milli born? Milli was born in July. So, yeah, it would have been September, October 2022. And, yeah, so that was Milli. So we were so pumped, I was so excited to become a dad. And the whole pregnancy, everything was sweet.
This is coming out at the quack's mouth, and everyone that you're involved with, midwives and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So we were private health because we wanted the best. Because Shell's obviously a bit older, so we wanted to make sure everything was good. And every time we had a scan and stuff, it was like, good heartbeat. So the whole pregnancy was fine. Only thing is, Shell never really felt baby move, and I never once saw a kick or felt a kick or anything. Hey,
you find that weird?
Now that I look back on it, we were told that it's your first baby, it's normal. It's normal for you. You've got an anterior placenta, and like if this is your first baby and that's how your pregnancy is, that's how it is. But Shell's friend, a good friend of hers, was only 2 weeks in front of her, and she was over one night, also with an anterior placenta, and like she had her belly out, and I still remember one night just like seeing his hand just like go over her whole belly, like just like scraping the outside of her belly, and I was like, that's so different to us, but still not thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
Shell had a couple of moments throughout the pregnancy where she's like, it doesn't feel good, and went in to get checkups, and like we did a race to the hospital around, 29, 30 weeks, and went in there for a couple of hours, and they checked in and stuff, and they said, no, everything's sweet. Another time I went out fishing with my uncle at night, and it was the first time, and she was actually bleeding pretty bad, and so she went into hospital with one of her friends that night because I was out in the ocean and I couldn't come along, and as soon as I left, it started happening.
That's what happens, eh?
So and then checked in on that, and that was all fine, everything was fine. So we went into birth Milli. We had a planned Caesar. Shout out to Shell. She actually drove herself to the hospital. I was in the passenger seat.
Tough stuff.
Yeah. Went in there. Because baby was breech, so we had to have a planned Caesar. Went in there, so excited, like it was. We just couldn't wait to become parents. It's been such a long journey for us, and couldn't wipe the smiles off our faces as we were getting kitted out in our scrubs and stuff like that. And sitting in the room, Shell's getting a spinal put in, and we go in, and then they cut her open, or the anaesthetist does his stuff, and then they cut her open, and straight away I looked up and I was like, holy shit. It's been done.
It's my girl.
And so they cut her open, and then I, obviously my first baby, so I didn't know what to expect or anything, and it was going on for a little bit, trying to get her out, and then I still thought everything was normal.
And the doctors as well, at this stage, there was no word, no nothing. There was not even the slightest little hint.
It was very quiet in there. No one was really saying a lot. But then Shell started getting worried. And she was worried because she was laying down and she could see in the obstetrician's face that he was worried.
Yeah, and you can fucking pick that up, hey, like with the feeling, the energy in the room, and just by the like you said, the expressions on their face.
And then so Shell started to worry, and I could hear it in her voice, and then I'm like, what's going on? Like I didn't know whether it took 10 seconds to get out or 5 minutes or what. And then so Shell's like, I won't say the name, but Shell said to the obstetrician, get her out. And she said, I could see the worried look on your face. And I was like, that's when I wasn't sure whether Shell was peeking or I didn't know whether she was just peeking because she didn't know what was going on, but she does so much research and everything, so she knew, and she had a feeling anyway. They then had to, so she had the Caesar, they then had to do a T incision, cut her upwards as well, because they couldn't get baby out. And eventually got baby out, no, not crying, not making a sound. And then they just grabbed her straight away and took her over to a table and started doing resus on her, and at the time one of the OBs said, I felt an arm pop. So we were like shit, broken arm. So then after that, everything happened so quickly. They went to, there were just peds and stuff, there would have been 8 or 9 people just standing around her. Shell's still sitting there, cut open. I'm sort of trying to peek in between the 8 and 9 of them. And then they just had to get her and take her. And then Shell always said to me, if anything ever happens, do not leave her. So I had my wife sitting there, fully cut open, my daughter there, not knowing at the time, but she's got 2 broken arms and 2 broken legs. And they're rushing her off, still hasn't made a noise. They're resuscitating her, and then they take her off to a room, and then everything just happened so quickly then. Take her off to a room.
Did they let you stick around?
Yeah, so I got to follow everywhere. By this stage in this room, they probably had about 15 doctors, nurses, paediatricians, the whole lot there. And still at this stage, I'm still so blasé. I'm just like, this probably happens a bit.
Don't know, do you? You've never experienced it before?
Yeah, this probably happens a bit. And my mum, I didn't tell her because she was so stoked. Like, she couldn't wait to become a grandmother again. And she was, she didn't know we were going in that day. And then I FaceTimed her, and I was still having a bit of a joke. Hey, I was like, Mum, what's going on? She's like, what, where are you? I was like, we're in the hospital. We just had the baby. And then there was a little baby, like someone else's baby there. And I was like, this is not her, but I said, she's over here. And then I showed her, and then Mum just broke down. Mum was, and then I told her, I said, like, we just had x-rays. I said, she's got 2 broken arms. She's got 2 broken legs. They don't know what's wrong with her. But we're going to bring her home. And at this stage, I still hadn't seen Shell again. Probably an hour had passed, or they're all still working on it. Next minute, they're calling the specialty team up in Brisbane. They're racing down from the Mater to get Milli and transfer her to NICU up in the Mater in Brisbane. And we go up there. Shell gets her own ambulance. Milli gets put in the incubator, and she never opened her eyes. This bit gets me every time, She only ever opened her eyes just once, and it was when they were moving her from like the bed in the Gold Coast into the incubator, and she literally just fucking. She opened her eyes just the one time ever and looked straight at me. It's just like we just tunnel vision, just straight at each other, and then closed them again. And that was the only time she ever opened her eyes, and we got to see each other.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah. So they took her to the Mater from there. I drove up in Shell's car, and we were up there for 7 days. Each day was a different story. Like, they just had no idea what was wrong with her. And then she obviously had the broken arms, broken legs, but I still hadn't cried. She'd occasionally just wiggle her fingers like that. She went for CT scans, all these different scans. Shell's on top of it more than I am. Like, I was just like, so I just stayed down there overnight with her, just laid there, read books with her, watched the footy with her. I had a little Knights onesie for her to wear the night, because the Knights were playing the day she was born, so she was meant to be wearing that. But You're
a footy boy, aren't you?
Yeah, love it. And then so we're in there for 7 days. Had all these scans, still didn't know what was wrong with her. And then on the night before she passed, Shell had been down with her. I'd been catching up on some sleep, and Shell came back up, and there's a baby monitor. So we've got our own room because Shell's a patient at the time, and you can see on the TV when the monitor's on her, so you can sort of just watch her and stuff. And we were up there, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And Shell called up downstairs because she's like, the monitor's off. Like, what's going on? They're like, you better come down. And she's like, should I wake up my husband? She's like, yeah, wake him up. So we came down there, and it was hectic. Hey, like there was literally, I don't know the names of the doctors, but different doctors and heart specialists and brain specialists down there. Some blokes were literally in thongs because they'd been called in from they'd been at home asleep. Yeah, wow. And they'd been called in, and they just, everything was going on. Like she had bleeding on the brain, but also she had bleeding in her head, and something to do with her heart, but they couldn't, if they gave her blood thinners, that would have fixed the heart problem, but it would have thinned the blood and gone to her brain and killed her straight away. So there was like 8 to 10 of them standing around. There was a lot going on with her, right? Like there's so many labels and like things we can talk about as, what medically was wrong, but at the end of the day, there was a lot going on with Milli. Yeah. And there was a lot of unknowns, hey? Yeah. So then we eventually got through that night, woke up next morning, came down, Shell saw the top paediatrician there, and she said, we've got an answer. And Shell was like, awesome. She said, it's not going to help Milli, but it will help her future siblings. And then so took us into a room, and they just said, look, this is what the issue is. You don't have to turn her machines off, but we think last night was her little episode, was just staying alive for you guys to just get one more goodbye today. And I think we think that's what you need to do. And they recommended turning off her machines and stuff, and we got Shell didn't want to, but at the end of the day it was the best sort of thing we had to do. And so we called in family and close friends, and everyone came up to Brisbane, and we had a beautiful team around us. My mum, auntie and uncle, cousins, close friends, Shell's sister, just everyone sort of close to us, and they all made a guard of honour, and they made a guard of honour through us, pushed us up, me, Milli and Shell in the bed together, and took us through the room, and it was just beautiful, and they took us up to the room, and we sort of said our final goodbyes. And heavy, man. Yeah, but we always love to speak of her. Her name lives on, and we speak about her daily in the house. And like she was so loved. There's so many people that speak of her. She was actually born at 11:11 to the minute. I remember that. It's that is such a powerful, those synchronicities, man. That 11:11, it's no joke. I know people think it's a bit of woo-woo and all that sort of stuff, but when you feel it, and it's part of your personal experience, like no one else can know that truth but yourself, you know what I mean? If you feel it, you see it, you've experienced it and witnessed it in the present moment, like that's for you and that's special, you know? So the story behind that, actually, quickly, her birth time was 11:13 officially at the start, and that was with all the chaos going on. And then there's a photo that my cousin picked up that Shell had posted, and there's a photo, and I've got my hand on Shell's head, and my watch is there, and they've got Milli out. They've just got Milli out, and it says 11:11 on my watch. Have you got that photo still? Yeah. We might we'll chuck that up somehow in here. Yeah. I'll figure that out. And my cousin spotted it, and she's like, "Look at this!" And Shell's like, "No way," because Shell's so big on numbers and stuff. And yeah, she spotted it, and she's like, and so Shell got it officially changed to 11:11 because that was the correct time that she came out. So it's pretty nuts how the world works like that. Oh, mate, 100%, and it's such a heavy experience, man. Like it's something that you don't want anyone to go through. You don't want yourself to go through. You never think it's going to happen to you, and it has happened to you and Rochelle. And
everyone that extends outside of you guys, like Milli's passing is full on and heavy as it was. Like, we're talking about her now, and I do know for sure that there's going to be a lot of people hear this story, and the problems that they've got in their life at the moment, after hearing this story, those problems are going to be hit out of the fucking park, mate.
100%.
To be honest,
Yeah.
How did you cope? Like, honestly, I want to know, and I know everyone else would want to know, how did you and Rochelle, and how did the family that extends outside of you, Milli's passing, in this world, you believe. Yeah, what is your beliefs? You're a religious man, aren't you?
Not overly. Like, Shell and I are Christians, but at the time we were praying and stuff in the hospital for a miracle, which didn't come to life. So I haven't stepped foot back in the church since that. Shell's tried to go, I think twice, once to our original one and second to another one she tried, but she just struggled. I think once she has a baby in her arms, eventually she'll get back, but we were sort of hoping for a miracle, and it just didn't happen.
Yep.
So yeah.
So obviously, you would have probably lent on the church and that Christianity to support you and help you cope. So what did you use?
They were amazing, hey. We had people come up to the martyr, and they were just amazing. Afterward, the amount of love and support that we got from everyone was just incredible, hey, like beyond what we ever would have expected or believed, because like we had people just... My biggest thing was when we got home, I didn't want an empty house. I didn't want it just to be Shell and I, because I didn't want it to be morbid. And we just had people dropping in all the time. Shell's sister stayed for a couple of days. My mum stayed for a couple of days. One of Shell's good friends from the church, Christy, she was there every single day for probably the first 2 weeks, I reckon. Like, she just dropping in, just seeing how Shell was, bringing her a coffee, staying for an hour, having a chat.
That's your gods there.
Yeah, 100%.
The torch carriers, you know what I mean? It's you, it's me, it's all of your family, all of the people that showed up for you.
Yeah. We had a beautiful man that we hadn't even known for that long, maybe 6 months, and I won't say his name, but not a wealthy man either, but reached out and gave us 4 weeks worth of our mortgage just to cover bills and stuff, and to get through and have some time off. But my coping thing was I had 2 to 3 weeks off, but I needed to be busy, so I went back to work pretty quick. I wouldn't have if Shell didn't have the people around her, but she had the support around her and stuff, and everybody grieves differently. We definitely grieved differently, and my thing was it was going to work and being busy, but like every now and then, like I could be working away, and Milli's song was Eyes Closed by Ed Sheeran, and that was big at the time, and it had come on the radio, and I'd be working away just up on the roof, and I'd be having a little cry to myself just as I'm laying some roof sheets, yelling out for sheets to be coming up, and
it hits you.
Yeah, it's just people definitely grieve differently, and my thing was keeping busy. Her thing was letting her emotions out via posts on Instagram, keeping people updated, and she actually started her own little podcast about baby loss and interviewed a lot of bereaved parents.
I tried to find her the other day when I put that little story up, letting people know that you were going to jump on with us today. Has she taken a break from that?
She's taken a break.
Little life, big loss,
right? Little life, big loss. She's taken a bit of a break for now. For those who don't know, she was actually pregnant now, so...
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How good?
Little boy, 16 weeks, so 4 rounds of IVF, 2 endo surgeries, 15 embryos or something. Couple of transfers. Man, their body goes through some crazy shit.
They're tough, hey?
Yeah,
you know, we wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah.
That's why we've got to respect, you know, women so much.
You don't actually understand, like, I think it's hard for me, like, busting my ass on a roof so hot every day, but, like, the amount of shit that I've seen her go through in the last 12 to 18 months is incredible, eh? And, like, they're so relentless. She just keeps cracking, and even through her pregnancy last time, she's like, "This is the last time I'll be pregnant." Now she's saying it again. "This is the last time I'll be pregnant." I'll be like, "Oh, we'll see in 12 months' time."
We can practice. It's like, can we practice in the meantime still? Bro, there's one thing I wanted to touch on. You mentioned that you guys are pregnant again now.
Yeah.
That's so good. I am so happy. I can't wait to see all this unfold. What people struggle with, you know, what I've found is we live through moments in the present moment. We, you know, certain curveballs, life throws us curveballs, like the life threw you, a curveball, which has an imprint on us, and that can make us anticipate and worry about certain dramas in the future to arrive to us, which brings on a lot of... That's how anxiety is birthed, actually. Sure. You live in the past, you're depressed, you're living in the future and anticipating certain troubles to arrive that haven't even arrived yet, which is creating a lot of anxiety. There's just absolutely no benefit there. It just creates a lot of dis-ease within yourself, which creates a lot of sickness. Is that something that you and Rochelle anticipate? It'd be good to know what sort of how you feel about it, what you think about it.
I'm not too bad. I wouldn't say blasé, but I'm just like positive, like we're bringing this baby home, it's going to be good.
You are.
But, I mean, I didn't grow the first baby either, and I'm not growing the second one. We're both on anti-anxiety tablets, so that definitely helps. But the amount she gets so worked up before each and every scan, and because she's high risk, we're doing scans very regularly, and she just gets so worked up and so worried before each and every scan because she's just expecting the worst each time. Expecting the worst. And even we've chatted a few times about her going into when she has to have a Caesar, so she because of the teen decision last time. And we've talked quite a few times about her going in for the Caesar, and whether, like, a couple of scans ago, she was just like in there just bawling, shaking, and just completely out of it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Because she's so scarred. And so, yeah, we're not sure. She's got to speak with her OB when it gets closer, whether she doesn't want to get put under because she wants that first skin to skin, but she's so worried about what will happen to her if she just goes in normal, and because the fear, I'll be scared then as well, but the fear of it for her will be next level. So whether they're going to slightly sedate her, but we need to come up with a plan with the OBs, with the doctors, to find out what they're going to do, because it's not going to be pretty 100%. Like it's a scary thing to look towards for sure. And I think a lot of people are like, yeah, you're pregnant, like you're going to have another baby, blah, blah, this, that. But they haven't been through that, so they don't understand the fear of that until you sort of explain it to them. They're like, oh yeah, shit, like you probably do have a bit of fear going into this for sure.
It's like a non-drug addict telling a drug addict just to stop taking drugs. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't know what's going on here. You've never experienced drug addiction before. You know what I mean? Until you've experienced it for yourself, and you don't really know. You know what I mean? And many people don't know what you guys have been through. There are a lot that obviously have. You know, you would have connected with people, wouldn't you?
Oh, so many.
Especially with the podcast.
Yeah, Shell's podcast. Just events we've been to as well. Like we went to an event, a walk for bereaved parents up in Brisbane the other week, and you meet so many people I've actually got a good mate of mine who unfortunately had a loss mid-pregnancy just recently, and it's just heartbreaking. And do you know what? As soon as he sent me a message saying like this had happened, and I just said one back saying, mate, I'm so sorry. And I said, I'll give you a buzz tomorrow. And I spoke to him, I texted him a couple of times, and then I kept saying, been flat out, give you a buzz tomorrow. And it took me 3 or 4 weeks to call him after it. And I just called him. I said, mate, I'm so sorry. I said, I haven't spoke to you because I haven't known what to say, because there's nothing you can say.
There's nothing you can say that can fix.
Yeah. Like, people are thinking of you and stuff, but there's just nothing. There's nothing to say. There's nothing you can say. And from experience, and I was just like, I just wanted to give him a hug. Like, there's nothing you can say. Give the man a hug, which I couldn't because he lives 7 hours south. But I just kept putting it off because I knew his feeling, whereas like a lot of people just don't.
That's it, man. I know. It's full on. What at the end of everything, if you could put it into, words that I understand, and for the doctors, what was the outcome with Milli? What actually in a ball happened?
So they thought she had a rare genetic disease called CDG, which is, I had all the stats when it first happened, but
rare?
Yeah, super rare. Like 70 people in the world living with it.
Wow.
And then like life expectancy is like 6 years old or something like that. So we found a group on Facebook. We lost Milli in July. We went over to America just to get away from the world for a bit. In October, 3 months later, and that's when the doctors we got a call over when we were in America, and we had a FaceTime with the doctors, and they said, "Yep, we've got this rare disease, CDG, blah blah, this that," and we're like, "Shit!" And it's sort of like it's similar to cerebral palsy, but less functioning, heaps less functioning, and we're like, shit. And then so they said, and it's because I'm a carrier, Shell's a carrier, and it just mixed, and it's just potluck. So for us to have a natural baby again, it's a 25% chance of it happening again.
Far out.
And you think 25% chance, that's only a quarter, but it's still 1 in 4. So
you're fucking fully right.
And then that's when we thought IVF journey it is, because obviously you get your embryos, you test them, good ones are no good, but the good ones you find out straight away. You know what's going to be good. So we couldn't fall pregnant for 12 months from when we lost Milli, but we could start IVF and start doing this. So we thought, let's get on the front foot. We'll start IVF, get some embryos in the bank. When it's go time, bang, we're on. So we did that. So that was October. And then January, we got a call from the doctors. It's not CDG. And we're like, fuck, how good's that? Because it's not the 1 in 4. It's not the 25%. Shell's going to shoot me for not knowing this, but the disease was called, she had a rare genetic disease called Modleionropathy or something like that, some big word. But basically what it meant was in utero, she never really moved at all. So we went to scans and stuff where they needed baby to move. They said, nah, she's not moving. Go have some caffeine, go for a little walk, have a jump around, make her move. Did all that, still never moving, still nothing picked up. So no movement was happening in the body, and it was because of her muscles. She never grew any muscle tone. Bit similar to me, actually.
Like looking in a mirror.
So she never grew any muscle tone, and that's why she was so weak. And the whole thing with the C-section, trying to get her out, she was so floppy. She was not stiff like a normal baby stiff, so they couldn't get her out. And that's why her bones were breaking as they were trying to get her out, because she was just floppy, completely floppy. And so she just had this bad luck, random disease. Happens to 1 in 50,000.
You seen that movie Glass?
Nah.
Is it? No. Oh, it's just this. I don't know too much about it. It's just sort of just going off my top of my head here, but it's like a story of this guy whose bones, if he takes a little fall or get hit by something, his bones just shatter like glass.
Yeah.
Is that like similar? She had like a bit of a bone.
Yeah, but it was more muscle.
It
was more muscle, and because of her muscles and no movement, it doesn't build strength in the bones because they're not moving either. So it was just like pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Far out, man. What moving forward from this, what has Milli? What strength has Milli given you guys? You guys given to yourself, going through like darkness, pain, and suffering, like yous have. Like the bigger the pain, the bigger the gift, I believe. I know that sounds a bit weird. How could you find a gift out of losing a loved one? Someone so special. Have you found that silver lining, that those gifts?
Yeah, like a lot of people say to you, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're doing it." You're not really choosing to do it. You got to take it head on. Mm-hmm. You got to, we didn't choose to do it. And once you're put in that scenario, you've just got to. You just got to take it full head on. And Shell's been a massive advocate and helped. She's gone up to Brisbane and helped a lady clean her house who had lost a baby and hasn't moved or done anything. Her kitchen's piled up, hasn't done anything like that in 4 months. And so Shell just didn't know her from bar of soap, had her on the podcast, said, yep, I'll come up and give you a hand. So she's been big on helping others for sure, that's gone through the same thing. But yeah, my hat goes off to her because I've struggled with it, but her being the carrier is definitely the one that's been through the ringer and come out the other side for sure. And it definitely made our relationship stronger throughout that period for sure, because you can, like you said, you can go and annihilate yourself with alcohol, with drugs, do whatever. Was there anything to be straight up? Was there anything that you found that you were doing, that Rochelle was doing to try and escape? Like a gateway? Nah. No. Anything. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could be, I don't know, any type of experience that you're trying to do too much of to escape. Well, mine was sort of work. Yep. Well, that's okay. You know what you got to do. Work. Yeah. Then when we went to America, Shell struggled being over there with no baby, and we were over there for 3 weeks. And so the first 2 weeks she struggled. She really struggled. The first 2 weeks I had a ball. And then after that, I struggled. I was like, I need to get home. I need to get in routine. I need just to get back to life. Whereas she let her hair down the last week and was like, I'm actually enjoying this now. I've gone through, done all this and had the struggle, but now I'm sort of a bit more relaxed and can enjoy stuff. But the other thing is just we haven't lost friends over the whole not having her, but I definitely think you don't get, there would have been first birthday parties and stuff that we wouldn't have been invited to, or different hangouts and stuff. Because you weren't invited to because... Yeah, because they're like, oh shit, it might be a bit triggering for them. How do you feel? Which is, we completely understand. You sort of don't know until you're in the same position, but it's just, it is what it is, and people just don't know how to react to you, So... 100%, bro. It is hard. But all you can do for someone is, like Rochelle and your family did for you, is be there, that hand out there, I've got ya. Yeah. If you're gonna fall, I've got ya. But at the end of the day, no matter how much someone gets you and supports you and guides you, pushes you in the right direction, it's you that's got you. And that's the biggest thing Shell and I have always said to each other behind closed doors. Shell's also put it out there on her podcast, but always said, it's. You get people that message you, and don't get me wrong, it's beautiful as well. If you need anything, let me know. But the people that were just there for you, dropped everything and they were there, they're the ones that were just awesome, mate. I had a mate and his partner fly up from the Central Coast just to come and hang out for a couple of days and just stay there and be there. Shell had a friend as soon as she found out. She flew straight up that day from Sydney. Shell's sister flew straight up. Like, anybody that didn't know what to do, they were just there.
Yeah, I reckon you'd be so surprised. You already know, like, how many hearts Milli's life, has touched and continues to touch now. Like, she's probably that one big life that has been lost has probably saved so many other lives, even just changing mindsets. Like I said earlier, the little problems that people think that they have, and they think that they're big problems. Like, after hearing this and after, hearing what you've been through, your experience, like, that's got to, for anyone, make them see life in a different light, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, why am I even worried about that?
Even at Milli's funeral, close friends of ours, they were leaving and they've got 2 little girls, and one of their youngest daughter, she's been just a little bit delayed, nothing too bad, but a bit delayed, and she said that her husband looked at her when they were leaving the funeral saying, I'll never be upset about the girls whinging or crying or struggling again, because what we just saw was, like, I'm so grateful and appreciative of what we have.
Oh, bloody oath, man. And I don't know if I told you, that Kels in bed one night, the boys were really getting under my skin, and they do. Like, you're with them all the time. Everyone goes through, the frustrations of anyone that you spend a lot of time with, and you can sort of become, I guess, complacent and forget how sacred and special life is, just with all of the busyness and the hecticness in life as well. But Kel said to us in bed one night, I'm like, man, these boys, like, I don't know what's wrong with... I'm trying to not say their names here on this podcast. I've been told not to. I don't know what's going on with XXX. Like, they're all just effed at the moment. Like, it's just too much. And she goes, those little things, hun, that that are annoying you so much. Just imagine if they didn't wake up tomorrow. Like, actually vision it, feel it. Like, they did not wake up tomorrow. Those little things that annoying you, like, you would be aching and burning for those moments to come back, Yeah,
and you're just like, fuck it, you can have as much red quarter as you want.
That's it. Go tear up the yard. Go do whatever you want.
Yeah, 100%. That's like, we always say, like, we'd love a crying baby. We'd just love a baby that would just sit there and cry the whole time.
Oh, yeah. My sister's best friend, Sarah, I'm not too sure of the details. I've told my sister to get her to watch this podcast because she's just, she had fallen pregnant recently. I'm not too sure how far along she was, but it was to a point and something had happened to the baby where she had to go in the other day and actually deliver the baby, not alive.
Okay.
I think it was not alive when it came out. So she had to go through that process. And I know that, Sarah's she's a really close family friend. I've grown up with her since, I was young. And she's just a beautiful person, just like a really beautiful soul. And to know that she's going through this type of pain as well, and, not talking to anyone, not wanting to open up. She's sort of hiding away. I think my sister's going to see her today. But, that hurts. And I hope she does listen to this podcast and does get something out of it and realises that she's not alone and that there's other people that have been through this and have got, like, I guess, roadmaps and instructions of ways to deal with it and cope and all that type of thing.
Yeah, 100%. When we were in the hospital with Milli before she'd passed, I don't even know how it come across, but we met a couple up in Darwin or Cairns or something just via Instagram, and they just lost their little boy. And like I said earlier, everyone grieves differently, but they couldn't leave their house. They didn't go to work for 6 months. They were just in absolute agony, and I think it helps so much talking about, saying their name and getting it out there, like just speaking about them for sure instead of, but like everyone does grieve differently, but it helps your emotions come out the more you talk about them and open up about it, because it definitely helps, I feel, for sure.
Definitely. opening up, like you said, I think it's absolutely necessary, and that goes for everything, like blokes that trap the energy of thought, going on within yourself. If you're not the way that you release that is through talking, like you said, through the vibration of words. That's releasing that energy from within yourself out into the open, and just it's a purge at the end of the day. We cry, we shit, we piss, we sneeze, we sweat, vomit is all acts of purging. Talking is a purge, and it's good to release that, because if you don't talk, you're never gonna experience the response that you might get from someone else that could open up and start changing your mindset. I think that's a lot to do with it at the end of the day. It's the power of the mind. It can really do you over. It can make you or break you. And I think working on the mindset, creating more positive pathways instead of walking down the negative ones so much.
Yeah, even I'd never been to a psychologist or anything, and I started seeing a psych after it. It was a bit after, maybe 6 months after. She was like, I think you need to, because she thought I was holding a lot in. She's like, you just need to go and speak to someone and just let out whatever you may be holding in. And I went and saw a psych for a couple of sessions, and that definitely helped as well, for sure.
Do you believe Milli's placing things on your path, conspiring for you? Where, I don't know. The more that I explore, what's going on in this reality, whatever you want to call it, this game of life. Do you believe in a greater thing, in a greater plan and all that sort of thing?
I do, to an extent. Shell's massive on it. If you see a rainbow, so rainbows is Milli's thing. Obviously, pink, everything pink was Milli. Shell was not into the neutral colours as the 2020 babies are. She was just like, my girl's pink, she's pink.
Pink princess.
Numbers 1111, always 222. Dragonflies. So when we were in America, we saw dragonflies around a lot, and when we were in New Zealand, a lot of dragonflies, and just anything pink. But Shell, and it's funny, hey, so we've got a joke where, because I'll occasionally Shell be like 1111, and there's been other things that happens, and Shell's like, you can't write this shit. And then so I'll be like, oh, it's 11:11, you can't write that shit. But sometimes I'm like, oh fuck, you really can't write that shit that just happened. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but sometimes I don't really let her know, but I'm just like, fuck, you actually can't write this shit that just happened.
I went through a synchronicity storm the other day. Kels was with us, and I shit you not, there would have been 20 plus, and this is all on number plates of cars. There was 111, 333, there was letters EEE, there was 999, 888. It got to a point where I'm like, something is definitely going on. I know people see when you're looking, when you're looking for this stuff, they're like, when you're looking for this stuff, of course you're going to see it. But I'm like, nah, it's just, you're not experiencing what I'm experiencing. I'm not looking for it. It might be something that gets my attention for that slight moment. I'm like, piss off. For sure. Try and catch my thought of what's going on when I'm seeing that thing. So, because they say, try and catch your thought. It might be something that you need to work on, something, that you maybe need to let go of that doesn't serve you anymore. Whatever you're thinking about, try and decipher it. It's a bit of a bloody code. Yeah, the world works in funny ways. I'm a massive believer in karma. Oh yeah.
And manifestation, and some things happen and you just that was actually meant to,
Oh, definitely.
And then even just a silver lining with Milli, man, that happened for a reason. We don't know the reason yet.
I think you'd find there's many.
Down the track, we may find out. But for some reason, that happened to her, and that's what made her so special.
Even just the, part where she's made people, and still is going to continue to make people appreciate their life and just what they've got at this present moment. Because if you sit down and think about it, even just us right here, I do a practice, it's called the triple A's. It's acknowledge, appreciate, and allow. I do this in my morning routine. So acknowledge, you get yourself into the present moment, do it how you want, focus on your breath. You use your 5 senses to tap into the present moment. I acknowledge you. I acknowledge, everything about you, the person that you are, how far that you've come in life. I feel the experiences that you've been through, and I feel honoured in this moment, and all of the moments that we've been through on this podcast still, that, you know, I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate what I've got in my life, you know, this house, the boys, Kelsey, just fucking water.
Yeah, 100%.
Just
the
breath, you know?
Little things, for sure.
Like, once upon a time, I've said it before, like I never used to have any of this stuff that you see in here.
Shelter, food on the table, you got that, you're doing better than half the world.
Yeah, that's it, eh? That's definitely one and many of the reasons why you've been through and why all this sort of stuff happened with Milli, I think, because there's a lot of people out there that do need that reminder. They need that help to just woo up. Don't take life so seriously. Appreciate what you got. Just stop worrying so much about these little things that don't fucking matter at the end of the day.
For sure, definitely. Definitely.
I think we'll start wrapping it up, but I did want to ask, just, I guess, to sort of close this up, and what's some advice, brother, that you'd give to, you know, just straight from the heart? Don't have any structure. I don't have any structure to what I'm talking about here, but what advice would you give to others that might be going through a similar experience, or even just, you know, any type of dark experience, you know, as heavy as what you guys have been through? Like, it's next level type of pain and suffering. It really, really is. It's pain and suffering that I've never experienced for myself. I hope I never do.
Yeah.
But it's, what kind of advice would you give out there to people that might be listening in here?
It's pretty cliche, but like, tough times don't last, tough people do. Mm-hmm. But like, and there is always light at the end of a tunnel. Yeah, you do. Like Shell and I have always said, it's a roller coaster. Like, even before Milli, the pregnancy things, it's all just up. You're up, you're pregnant, you're down. Mm-hmm. You're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. And I don't think there's ever any leveling out. Even like when we have a kid, it's still going to be up, down, like, so just take it within your stride for sure. And yeah, just be there for each other. That's the biggest thing, being there for each other. Shell and I didn't have an argument in that time for like 6 months. We were just, after that 6 months, after it wore off a bit, we went through a bad spot. But just try, like, you've got to allow to think of what the other person's going through, and you're going to have a short temper in these times, because you not only are you upset, you're angry at the world. Try and rein that anger in, because the other person you're dealing with is also going through the same thing, if not worse. And
like you said, everyone copes with grief and loss and pain and suffering differently, hey? Because we're all cut. Do you believe we're all cut from the same cloth?
Yeah.
We're all cut from the same cloth, but we're different. We've all had different journeys. We've lived different experiences, different moments.
I just got to get this out, you know. Forrest Gump's my favourite video.
What? Forrest Gump?
Forrest Gump's my favourite movie, yeah. Yes, I quote him all the time. He goes, "Your boy is different, Mr. Gump." Your boy's different, Mr. Gump.
Oh, jeez, that's... Oh.
Is there a Mr. Gump, Mr. Gump? He's on vacation. Right, Forrest.
What was that? What was his mate's name? Bubba Gump? Bubba Gump? Didn't they have the trawler?
Yeah. Oh, no, they were meant to, but he died in war, so Forrest...
That was a sad moment of the movie.
Yeah.
He was a magic...
I gotta find Bubba!
Holy shit. Oh, well, I think that's pretty much it, bro. Moving forward, where are you going? What are you doing? What are you actually doing with your life?
Right now, I'm going to take a jet ski, I think. No.
Are you?
No. I've got heaps of shit on today. Where are we going now? Oh, just not going too far. Just, trying to build the business still. Bake this happy little baby. Can't wait to have him. So he should be due around early May, late April. So yeah, that's the main thing we're looking forward to. Looking forward to a break, Christmas time, best time of the year for sure. break from work. Everyone's happy. Everyone's jolly around that time. I'm a pretty fun, happy, easygoing guy. So when everyone else is like that as well.
Do you love Chrissy?
Oh, I love it, eh?
Oh, you and Kelsey get along.
I love it, eh?
Yeah.
Like I used to, when I was
you
younger,
do?
Chrissy and my birthday, my mum used to hate me for the whole of August because she's like, it's your fucking birthday month and you're just hyper, you're a different person. This is like all that till I was probably 16, eh? She's just like, you're off your head.
You are off your head. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, some days, most days.
Yeah. Oh, brother, thank you so much, man. Like I fucking said before, I feel honoured having you on.
No, awesome. It's been great, eh? I enjoyed it. Glad to be one of the first, not the first, but one of the first.
I can't wait to meet the little man, eh? Have you thought of names?
Yeah, we do. I've got one that I'm like 100% set on. Shell's like almost just going to give it to me. She's not super set on it, but she's like, oh, he can. I let her have Milli. I loved Milli as well, but she chose Milli, and I've got this one. She's like kind of all right with it, but she's like, oh, I think I might just let you have it because when the next one comes in, I'll get to take that as well. So, yeah, he's going to be a mad little man, eh?
Make sure you enjoy your break at Chrissy because that time's about to be taken away from you, eh?
Yeah,
There's going to be 0 break.
I always do some things. I'm like, this could be like the last little camping trip I can go on for a while.
For a little bit, yeah. But get him into the camping young.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like into the proper camping, swags, tent, the simple little things so you're not carting around so much.
He'll 100% be a little outdoors man. 100%.
Who's he? Which team's he going to go for?
Do you know what? I was sold on Milli being a little Knights supporter. And one of my mates the other day sent me a photo of a Maroons jersey. Said it was like a kid's Maroons jersey. He said, "This will look good on the little man." I said, "You know what, mate? To be honest, I'm going to let him choose. He can choose. Yeah? He can choose who he wants." I said, "Born in Queensland. His dad's from New South Wales. He's going to see him going from New South Wales. He probably won't see a Queensland win until he's 10 years old because this dynasty's about to take over the Blues. They won't lose another series for another 10 years. So I dare say he'll end up being a New South Wales supporter, but we'll just have to wait and see. When he's old enough, he can choose his own side, whether it be NRL side or State of Origin. It's up to him. He might get a little bit brainwashed, but apart from that, he can go for who he wants.
I'll be there to try and coerce, bring that along into the Maroons for sure.
I'm sure there'll be fucking plenty, eh? Plenty around up here.
Oh, bloody oath. Anyway, Dills, thank you so much, brother.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your missus. Can't wait to meet the little man. Yeah. And I just want to say, a little message at the end here for everyone that's been listening. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you got as much out of that as I did. Don't compare. Try and avoid and work on comparing your life to others because obviously there's always someone doing worse than you, but at the same time there's always someone doing better.
That's it.
And that's it. You are where you are. Yeah. You got to face things as they come. You versus you at the end of the day.
100%.
Alrighty. Alright guys, you take it easy and look forward to seeing you next week.
Peace.